100% grade that's right here. Any guesses? Now, that picture I drew sucks, just so you know. That's nowhere near 6%, right? I think that's mentally, Kelly, why I put 60 and 100, because it's way too steep to be 6%. I think my brain was trying to make it work, and I'm like, damn it, stop roll. That's a terrible picture. That angle looks huge, doesn't it? I mean, it's way bigger than whatever the angle is that makes college. Imagine trying to drive up or down that in the snow, yeah? So what do you think, angle? If you had to give me an angle in degrees. First of all, if I use the word angle, is that okay? If I mention angle, you know what I'm talking about? Give me a brief synopsis of what an angle is. Give me a synopsis. This is actually a good idea. Give me a synopsis, a little bit of geometry today. What is an angle? Why do we need angles? Why do we need them? I used them yesterday in PT for my shoulder rehab. I had 5 degrees less movement in my right shoulder than my left one. And she's like, oh, that's close enough. I'm like, really? That's close enough? It's 5 degrees stretched over the entire length of my arm. That seems like a big distance. She's like, wow, you must teach math. I'm like, man, cursed. So what is an angle and why do we need them? Or identify an angle somewhere in that terrible image that's up there. That's another question. Where's an angle in that image up there? What do you think? Say, be brave. Be brave, my friends.
Measurements.
Measurements, good. What are we trying to measure?
An angle.
Good, touche. 1 point. Why do we care?
We use it in architecture.
Why?
Pitch of a roof.
Pitch of a roof. You're going to put a roof on a house. You're going to build a roof. Where's your house going to be built? Nowhere. You're going to build, well, I was going to say, you're building your house in a high snow area. High snow load. How should you build your roof? Probably fairly tilted. How come? Tell me your name in the back.
Joanne.
Joanne, go.
So it falls down.
So that the snow naturally sheds off. What's a downside with building a roof that's very, very steep?
It's not shoveling.
Well, hopefully not. That's the point, is that it comes off its stuff, sloughs off itself.
Right, into your doors, so you gotta shovel it out.
Well, you put your door on this side, so it sloughs off the sides, and you walk out the north side, sloughs off the east-west sides, maybe. The problem is shingling the damn thing. You gotta get up on that thing and shingle it, yeah? My brother-in-law used to shovel roofs for a job in Gunnison, Colorado. It's like the coldest continental United States place on earth or something. And they have a bunch of flat roofs there, and I always thought that was funny. Why would you put a flat roof in Gunnison? Well, they corrugated metal, for that matter. So he ended up there shoveling roofs all summer long on these very flat roofs. I was like, my God, were you roped in? He's like, dude, the pitch is nothing. The pitch? What's the pitch? Pitch is another word for grade. Pitch is another word used for grade. So you ever heard of a 12-12 pitch of a roof? 12-12 pitch. 12-12 pitch means it has the same rise as run. So if it goes 12 inches, they use 12, I think because of feet, 2 inches to a foot. For every 12 inches, it goes 12 inches. What percent grade would a 12-12 pitch be?
45.
That's the angle it would be. Thank you. All right.
It would be a 50.
Hang on. So if you've got a 12-inch rise for a 12-inch run, that necessarily makes a, let me turn this off for a second. There it is. That necessarily makes a 45-degree angle. Thank you, whoever said 45. Now, you might or might not remember this from geometry class back in the day. It's okay if you don't. 45 degrees here. If these sides are the same, those angles have to be the same. If this side is longer than that one, that angle has to be bigger than that. It was all the stuff you learned eons ago, and it's not important to memorize that, remember that right now. My question is, what's the grade? Tell me your name in the back. Rudy, go. It's 100%. We had some interesting discussions last class about what a 100% grade looks like. Some people said, 100%. 100% is that right there. See, now watch why. Figure out why. Grade is defined, as you guys already told me, as rise over run. If the rise and the run are the same, 12 inches over 12 inches, that's 1. Now, that's 1 as a decimal, which is 100% as a percentage. Which means you can have grades that go over 100%. For example, those cool houses with the crazy steep roofs, those are way over 100%. They're like 300 and 400% sometimes. I think that counters to our American minds, because how can you give more than 100%? I'm not talking about giving more than 100%, about being more than 100%. There's actually no upper limit on what the grade can be. Here's a trick question. What would the grade of a perfectly vertical road be if if it could exist, which it doesn't anywhere. You can't pave a perfectly vertical, well, you could. You wouldn't spend the money. What would the grade be? It's a trick question. It's a trick question. It'd be a 90-degree angle.
200%.
More than 200. All 200% means is that this would be 24 when this would be 12. Twice as high here, yes? So that is, you can visualize that, can't you? If this goes 12 more, it would be tilted kind of like this. I think it's like a 62-degree angle or something like that. It's like a double black run at Bachelor. Like the circ is roughly a 62% average degree. Roughly. Please!
The problem would be is there would only be a rise and no run number.
Which means,
There.
what's the grade? This is why it's a trick question. There is no grade on a vertical road. The run is 0. As Brittany said, it's all rise. You can have a flat road. That's 0% grade. 0 rise over a run is 0. But if you make this 0, you're dividing by 0, and you've learned for years you can't do that. There's a very good mathematical reason you can't. If you stick around the break, we'll explain why. If this exists and this is 0, you've got a vertical 90-degree angle, vertical road, there is no grade. You will never see an infinite grade sign anywhere, except maybe at a cliff. You could see that. If like I go to Misery Ridge or Smith Rock, walk out to the edge, look down. Oh, infinite grade. Better step back. Better step back. But no roads. No roads. So you can go over 100% grade. 45 degrees is 100%. Anything more than 45, you're over 100%. Which brings back my question. What the hell angle is formed? What angle is formed by College Way? Any votes? If this is 45 degrees and 90 is vertical, give me some guesses.
18 degrees.
18 degrees. Love it. You gotta vote for 18 degrees. College Way. 18 degrees. Give me some other ones. 12? 12 degrees. What you can do is you can kind of envision degrees. It's unfortunate that we use the number 90 for this. There was a measure of unit called gradians, I believe, that used 100 instead of 90 for a right angle, which is much easier to divide up, but it never caught on. So 90, we're stuck with 90. Thanks, Mesopotamians. So you can kind of divide it up a little bit. You can cut it in half to make about 22 and a half. You can cut that in half to make about 11. You can cut that in half to make 6. So it's messy. The numbers get messy. So any other votes? 18, 12? 6? Guys are going up by thirds. 2? 4? 6?
11.
11, 15? Oh, that's... Which one's right? Which one's the most believable? Please, and tell me your name one more time.
Joanne.
Joanne, go.
I have no reason. It's just that I'm.
Like, you've been on the road, you've looked at the road, you've been on the road, it looks like it's tilted like that or something like. Good! So, the question is, how do you figure out what the angle is? There are like 5 different answers to that, one of which involves an equation. I'm not going to go there, because I don't think you'll like that one very much. So here's the way you figure out the angle. There's something called the tangent in geometry. You may have learned this if you ever took anything called a trigonometry class.